say that shit. Like bad kids, bitch, we reckless. Yeah, raw hearts are like taxes.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Gwop, signing back with another video. And before I even begin this video, I want to actually let y'all know that the reason why I haven't been active as much for like the past 2 weeks was because your boy is officially a high school graduate. Yes, that's right. I actually graduated high school last week on the 18th. If you're seeing this video, it's that's like almost 7 days ago. So yeah, I graduated. I finally got my high school diploma. I graduated with A's, B's, and C's, and you know what that means. Since I did such a great job in school and I don't go back for like another 3 or 4 months, like it's back to get on the grind. Am I right? So what better way than to get back on the grind is to talk about another controversy like we always do on this channel. So now, before I even begin about what I'm about to say, like I've actually been debating if I should actually do this video, because like it's been pretty much like a week and a half since like anybody has been really been saying anything about it. And if you're following me on Twitter, I already said my spiel about this whole thing. I wasn't really upset about this whole entire thing at all. Like I did not really care as much, but because I sort of expected this sort of thing. But I basically said I was really more on Twitter. I even said I was more surprised that Arthur, a popular kid show that I grew up on and is literally part of my childhood, is still running for like what, 25 plus years. And I didn't even know it even started way back then. So it's nice to know that my favorite kid show is actually still getting this recognition and everything. So, but what we're going to talk about today is something that's mainly controversial. Now, also, if you haven't seen this episode, I'm pretty sure you all haven't, because this is mainly like an adult fielded, like teenager to adult like channel. Like we all sit down, come on, we're all adults here. But I haven't seen this episode myself. Now if you guys do not know what I'm talking about, this episode of Arthur, right, it's his newest episode of Arthur that recently came out like a good 2 weeks ago, right? And basically the plot in this episode is that Mr. Ratburn, pretty much Arthur and his friend's teacher for like the past 25 years, surprisingly, and they haven't aged up not 1 year. He's actually, let's just say that he's out of the ordinary. There were some clear details that he was gay, but since we were all young and our brains were still developing and not that intelligent back then, like we didn't even think of anything of it. We were just thinking, oh, he's like acting that way because like that he's that way. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, as we actually like grown and actually become adults, we actually watched his specific actions, like in how he actually approaches things and like how his demeanor is. And we actually say like he is sort of gay, but like we don't know anything about his love life, so we just not gonna even go there. So now, all that theories goes right out the window, because in a new recent episode of Arthur, Mr. Ratburn actually announces that he's actually getting married, and Arthur and his friends actually just goes to his wedding and is actually discussing like what kind of woman is he marrying? Like have we ever seen her? Like is she from here? Like does she live around here? You know, that kind of stuff. So then, as the wedding is beginning, they're actually going down the aisle, and Mr. Ratburn is actually holding hands with another dude, and he actually takes a wink at the camera, and this is what I've been seeing all over Twitter, like the clips and everything. And they actually figure out that he's actually gay and everything. So, and he's actually marrying another guy. And before I even start off this, I got no problem with gay people, just before I piss off somebody in the LGBT community, for God's sake. And I don't even know how many times I even have to explain that, but I'm gonna just save that part for a different part in this video. So now what I'm gonna talk about is the controversy that Alabama is currently under, this TV station in Alabama, because they apparently banned the Arthur gay wedding episode because like they didn't feel like this is what they said. They felt like it would be disruptive to like the communication to their TV audience, or like whatever kind of BS excuse they actually tried to pull out of their behinds. Because like and also I just want to throw this out there, if any of us live here in the United States, we all know that Alabama is not really the most smartest state, to say the least. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like the state that always had, like every other house always has a Confederate flag posted outside their door. You know what I'm saying? Like they actually have like a little bit of a methamphetamine kind of problem, and they have this thing called like F your sister, like F your cousin. You know who I'm talking about. You know, the trailer trash people in Alabama. So, it's not really the most intelligent state, to say the least, and they're not really the most accepting of certain things, especially race, but that's besides the point. The TV station, actually all over Twitter, I've been seeing that this TV station has been getting all type of backlash, especially from the LGBT community. The LGBT community, they always go to war every single week. They are ready to like nuke an entire state. And honestly, this is one of those cases. So as soon as this Alabama TV station actually began to like feel the heat coming their way after what they did, they started to backpedal and like pull these excuses and didn't actually give a clear reason for why they're doing this. And now, also, I'm gonna say this. Now, Arthur is an educational TV show. One of the best educational TV shows on this planet Earth. No debate about it. Because they've touched on so many amounts of topics that I can just name right off the back of my hand here. Okay, let's see. They touched on divorce. They touched on bullying. They touched on cancer. And they touched on a lot of other things like meeting new friends, like accepting new cultures. You know, that sort of thing, right? So, and in cases where the LGBT community is actually trying to force their sexuality and force their differences upon us, even though nobody is really like denying it to begin with, and bringing it in certain situations. We've all seen in certain situations they actually try to place their sexuality and stuff in like other parts of pretty much in places like it didn't even need to actually be placed. But in my defense for the LGBT community, like, this is one of the perfect times that they could have done it. This is the perfect time they actually did it, and they did it correctly. Because they didn't actually, like, you know, like, they did what's not like they did with Sesame Street, like when, I forgot what was the puppet's name. I think it was Bernie and Ernie, where they actually tried to, like, say that they were gay and everything. Not like that. I'm saying that they actually read a whole episode and did it the right way and actually taught kids that's actually watching the show about, gayness and, you know, bisexuality and homosexuality. You know what I'm saying? So, I actually applaud them for actually doing that with this Arthur episode, because Arthur is one of the best places to do it if you're gonna do it, right? And we got Alabama over here, the incest state of this country, actually trying to deny that and actually, like, you know, hop on this anti LGBTQ like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they actually try to like hop on this whole bandwagon hate, and not actually accept this for like what it is, instead of actually having kids actually sit down and actually watch the episode and learn that gay is actually a thing. Because apparently, and I didn't even know this up until like a few weeks ago, that being gay in America was apparently illegal at I would say like 10 years ago. So, and it's let's take this 10 years ago. That's around 2008, 2009, right? And I think I was like at least 7 or 8. Yeah, 7 or 8. And technically, this is 2009 we're speaking of. So I was 8 years old. So at this age, I didn't even know what gay was. I didn't even know what heterosexuality was. I didn't even know what homosexuality was. I was still trying to figure out my basic multiplication tables. You know what I'm saying? I was still trying to figure out like what's the best drift build on Midnight Club Los Angeles and Midnight Club 3. You know what I'm saying? So this was like the last thing on my mind because I wasn't educated about it. So, and then once it became legal and everything, that's when I actually started hearing about it. And I still didn't have a problem with it because, like, it's something that we've grown to accept in the community. And, like, if I don't have a reason and if it's not affecting me, like, why would I care? Not to say if I don't care or anything, it just don't got nothing to do with me to where the point is I need to hate on it and be anti-LGBTQ. You know what I'm saying? So Alabama, they gotten themselves in some doo-doo this time. So that's all I just really wanted to talk about. in like this video and everything, because I know like I have to get back into the swing of things and everything, and I know like what y'all are thinking, this video feels rushed and everything. Like most of these videos I just go off the top of my brain and then I just like say whatever I need to say and then I go on to the next one. But this is one of those clear indications that the LGBT community, they didn't do anything wrong this time. They didn't, because this time it was Alabama, and Alabama is a pretty much known state for getting themselves into deep dark doo-doo, and this is now adding to their track list and adding to their track record. So let me know what you guys think about this down in the comments down below. I also want to know in the comments down below, did you think that Mr. Ratburn was gay when you were growing up? Because I sure as hell didn't. Because like I didn't even know what that was until someone actually told me and I actually looked it up for myself. But anyways, let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. I'm gonna get back on my daily grind, and I'm gonna get back on my artwork to be posting on my Instagram and my social media pages. But make sure you guys like and subscribe if you're new. This your boy Gwop, and I'm signing out, bruh.
I can't lose, bitch, I'm so used to winning. Fuck with my family and you are finished. And bitch, we at the top, we so used to winning. Bodies getting dropped, we so used to winning. Riding with my niggas, we be cruising 10